When we sit down to eat, we often think only of filling our stomachs. We may watch television, scroll through our phones, or rush because of a busy schedule. In these moments, eating becomes something automatic, almost mechanical. But food is not simply fuel. It is a living connection between the earth, the farmers, the cooks, and ourselves. To eat with awareness is to recognize this connection. It means pausing for a moment before we take the first bite, noticing the colors, the fragrance, and even the way the meal was prepared. When we eat this way, we honor not only the food, but also all the hands and hearts that made it possible. We are reminded that nothing exists alone, and our daily bread is part of a greater web of life. This way of eating also changes how we experience taste. A single grain of rice, when noticed carefully, carries with it the gift of rain, sunlight, and soil. A simple vegetable dish, when eaten slowly, can reveal layers of sweetness and freshness that we usually overlook. By bringing attention to each bite, eating becomes more than a routine. It becomes a moment of quiet respect. Eating with awareness does not demand special rituals or complicated practices. It only asks us to slow down and be present with the food in front of us. Each meal then becomes not just a time to satisfy hunger, but also a chance to recognize the beauty and support that life continuously gives us. Every meal can be seen as a gift. The rice in a bowl, the bread on a plate, or the fruit in our hands does not appear by itself. It comes from the work of many people and the support of nature. Farmers plant and harvest, drivers deliver, markets and shops provide, and finally, someone prepares the food we place before us. When we pause to think about this, gratitude naturally arises in the heart. Gratitude is not only a polite feeling, it shapes how we receive nourishment. When we eat while feeling thankful, the food seems to taste richer, and we are more aware of how it strengthens us. It is no longer just about eating quickly or consuming without thought. Instead, it becomes a quiet moment of respect for life. This small change of heart allows us to see the meal not as something we are entitled to, but as a blessing we are fortunate to enjoy. Even the simplest meal can hold deep meaning when touched by gratitude. A plain bowl of soup can feel complete if we recognize all the care that brought it to our table. By remembering this, we also become less wasteful. We may find ourselves serving smaller portions, finishing what we take, and respecting the limits of what the earth can provide. Gratitude guides us toward a more balanced and gentle way of living. To sit with food and silently give thanks, even just for a breath, is enough. In that short moment, our heart grows softer. The meal becomes more than taste or nutrition. It becomes a reminder of connection, humility, and the quiet joy of being alive. In today's world, many of us eat in a hurry. We may finish a meal in only a few minutes, hardly noticing what we put into our mouths. This speed may fill the body, but it leaves the heart unsatisfied. Food that is eaten too quickly loses its depth, and the act of eating becomes just another task in the day. Slowing down transforms this experience. When we take time with each bite, something simple happens. Taste reveals itself fully. The sweetness of fruit, the warmth of tea, or the texture of bread becomes clear when we give our attention to it. By chewing slowly and noticing the flavors, we allow the meal to open itself to us in ways that rushing never allows. Eating slowly also helps the body. When the stomach is given time to receive food, it can send signals of fullness more clearly. This prevents overeating and supports health in a natural way. Instead of relying on rules or strict diets, simply eating at a gentle pace guides us toward balance. There is also peace in this slowness. A meal does not need to be long or elaborate to be meaningful. Even a small snack can become a source of calm when taken slowly. Each bite becomes a pause, a reminder that life does not need to be rushed. In this way, eating turns into a simple form of care for both body and spirit. When we give ourselves permission to slow down, we discover that food is not only about energy, it is about presence. And in presence, the ordinary act of eating becomes a quiet joy, one that nourishes us far beyond the table. When we think of eating, we often focus only on the body. We ask ourselves if the meal is healthy, if it has enough energy, or if it will keep us full until the next time. These are important questions, but they do not tell the whole story. Eating is also about how we feel inside. It is about the balance between body and heart. A meal can nourish the body, but leave the heart empty if it is eaten with stress or distraction. On the other hand, even a simple dish can bring deep satisfaction if it is eaten with care and calm. This shows us that the act of eating is more than physical. It is emotional and even spiritual, because it touches how we connect with ourselves and with life around us. When we find balance between body and heart, food becomes a bridge. It gives strength to the body while also softening the heart. A balanced meal is not only one that has vegetables, grains, or proteins. It is also one that is shared with peace, respect, or even quiet joy. This balance helps us feel whole, not just full. The balance does not require perfection. It does not mean every meal must be slow, silent, or carefully planned. Rather, it is about the gentle effort to notice both our body's needs and our heart's feelings at the table. Over time, this practice creates harmony. Each meal becomes an opportunity to care for ourselves in a complete way, both inside and out. Eating in this balanced way reminds us that nourishment is not only physical fuel, it is also a quiet invitation to live with gentleness, to meet life with a steady body and a kind heart. Every meal we share with ourselves or with others can be seen as a small moment of life's generosity. Food does more than keep us alive. It teaches us to notice, to appreciate, and to live with greater gentleness. Each bite carries the silent story of sun and soil, of rain and labor, of hands and hearts that work together unseen. When we stop for even a short moment to recognize this, eating becomes a daily reminder of how deeply we are supported. Daily nourishment is not only about calories or vitamins. It is about the way we relate to food, how we receive it, and how we let it shape our lives. By paying attention to these simple acts, we learn that living fully is not found in great achievements, but in small, repeated moments of care. A single meal taken with attention can teach more than many hours of study, because it reaches directly into the body and the heart at the same time. To live with this awareness is to walk gently with life. It is to know that even ordinary routines hold the power to bring peace. Eating becomes more than habit. It becomes a quiet practice of respect for the world and for ourselves. Before I close, I want to express my heartfelt thanks to those who have shown support through likes, subscriptions, comments, super thanks, and membership. Your kindness allows these reflections to continue and reach those who may also find comfort in them. Please know that your presence here is deeply appreciated, and I am grateful to share this space with you.